Mental illnesses are incredibly misunderstood. The fact is, 1 in 5 people have some kind of mental illness, meaning it is one of the most prevalent categories of illnesses. Despite the common occurrence of mental illness, the stigma still exists, and it creates even greater challenges to those who have them than the symptoms themselves.
In this video, we'll be discussing mental health myths and their realities.
Myth 1. Having a mental illness means I will always be sick because nothing can be done about it.
In fact, there are many treatment options available that are very effective in treating and controlling the symptoms. Many of the illnesses tend to ebb and flow, and some even go into remission for long periods of time.
Myth 2. You don't need therapy, just take a pill.
In fact, everyone has different treatment needs. There is no one right way to recovery. While medication can help, it may not be the only thing a person needs to live a full life. More often than not, a combination of treatments are needed. Those treatments may include therapy, skill building, linkage to community resources, and/or medication.
Myth 3. I can treat myself just fine with positive thought and prayer.
Positive thought, religion, and spirituality can be a powerful tool in recovery, but most likely it will take more than that. A combination of therapy and medication may be in order.
Myth 4. Having a mental illness means I am not very intelligent.
Well, that's just flat out wrong. Mental illnesses have nothing to do with one's intellect. People such as Carrie Fisher, Lady Gaga, Emma Thompson, Elton John, Abraham Lincoln, Brandon Marshall, Jane Pauley, and Mike Wallace have all fought some form of mental illness and still managed to accomplish great things.
Myth 5. Having a mental illness means I am not capable of working or that I should not work.
Well, hold on a second. Unemployment at the start of 2017 was sitting at 4.7%. We know in a given calendar year that 1 in 5 people will experience some form of mental illness. There is no reason why people struggling with a mental illness should not work if they want to and feel up to it. There are many people holding very significant jobs who also have a mental illness.
Myth 6. Having a mental illness means I can't graduate successfully from school.
Many people with mental illness are able to successfully graduate from school, including college. Many schools have help available if you are struggling with the requirements and obligations of school due to your symptoms.
Myth 7. People with a mental illness are likely to be violent.
Actually, the vast majority of persons with mental illnesses are not violent or aggressive at all. On the contrary, a person with mental illness is more likely to hurt themselves or be victimized by someone else than hurt someone else.
Myth 8. Taking medications for my mental illness means I am defective.
Wait a second. Many people take medications for many different illnesses and conditions, both physical and mental health related. Many medications have a healing effect on the brain and its chemical and electrical system. In many cases, medication may only be needed for a period of time, perhaps 6 months to a year, before weaning off completely. Some meds act like a reset button for the brain's deactivation of its natural chemical making abilities.
Myth 9. I must have caused my loved one's mental illness.
Before putting that kind of judgment on yourself, let's make something clear. Mental illnesses are diseases and have a strong genetic basis for their origins, running in families and getting passed along in our DNA. Experiencing trauma makes us vulnerable to some mental illnesses like depression, anxiety, or PTSD.
Myth 10. Because I have a mental illness, I must be being punished for something I did.
Many adults and children suffer from mental illness. One would be hard-pressed to assert that a young child deserved to have a mental illness because of something he or she did. These are illnesses, not punishments.
Myth 11. You can snap out of mental health problems if you just try.
Mental illnesses are real illnesses that can't just go away on demand. They need treatment.
Myth 12. People who struggle with mental illnesses are just making up excuses for their behavior.
Mental illnesses and their symptoms are very real. If you are struggling with a mental illness, do not let the diagnosis or the things you hear define who you are or what you can accomplish. And do not be afraid to try new things and to be the most that you can be. And perhaps, most importantly, do not be afraid to seek out help. Remember, anything is possible.
If you'd like to learn more about mental health, please visit our website at www.transmhs.org.